Hi, so prepare this food with me. These are the ingredients I'm going to be using for my groundnut soup today. So I always love frying my palm oil with onions for some seconds before I actually go in with any other thing because the fragrance, like it will just give your food a different kind of taste that you wouldn't get it normally. So after doing that, you add your add my fish. I prefer adding fish to the red oil directly, especially if I'm using smoked fish. That way, the fish would fry off a little bit. Then you now go in with your tomato, your pepper mix, and the rest. Then after boiling for a while, I'm now adding my granules mix, just granules with crayfish and water. I'll add it to the mix and allow it to boil for a while. Just mix it, ensure that everything is well mixed together. Then you now allow it to at least boil for a little bit so that the granite will cook a bit. Then I'll now go in with my water because at that point the granite is too thick. You can't leave it like that, so you have to add water to it, and then bring it to a boil. Once the water is in it and then you now boil it, it becomes thicker. Like you see from the result how thick it will be. Now it's watering. See, now the texture is now very thick. This is how we like it. This is the consistency we are going for in preparing our granola soup. Then you now add the star of the show. This is called yakuwa. I don't know the name in English actually. I think they call it hibiscus or whatever. I'm not sure what that is, but we call it yakuwa here in the north. So I'm going to add my yakuwa to the soup and then I'll now mix it. I'll cover it for a while for it to be done. After that, now the food is remaining just 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes to get my food ready, so I'll go in with my Maggi at the last second. I don't know why, but that's how I do it. That's how my mother taught me to. So I'm now going with my Maggi and salt. Then my spinach comes second to the last because it's almost done at this point. Once I add my spinach, I'm going to reduce the heat to the lowest I can get, that way so that I want my spinach cooked but not overly done. Yes, so now I've reduced the heat and finally you go in with your spring onions for the finishing touch of the soup. Yes, this is how we prepare granite soup. This is how my mother taught me to cook granite soup. I am from the north and this is a very special delicacy. If you ever had this with either tuwo masara, this is the final look of my soup. It's very tasty. You can eat it with tuwo masara or sema.